All right, guys. So we got to talk about the biggest story thus far of today, because of Kanye West's wild interview with Alex Jones yesterday. Elon Musk has now suspended Kanye West from Twitter after Kanye West tweeted out an image that Elon Musk is saying is an incitement of violence. Now, the image was an image of a Nazi swastika inside the Star of David, which is a symbol for Judaism. Now, Kanye put this out and implied that this would be his symbol for his 2024 campaign. And Elon Musk got triggered by that and decided to have a knee-jerk reaction to it by suspending Kanye West from the platform. He's saying that that image was an incitement of violence. Now, before I get into this, I got to make my position clear on this because people kind of misunderstand things. I don't support the things that Kanye West is saying. I do support his right to freedom of speech to say the things he's saying, but I don't agree with the things that he's saying. Okay? However, that image that Kanye West put out, for as offensive as it is to, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people, it's not an incitement of violence. I disagree with Elon Musk on this. Like, putting out an image like that is not an incitement of violence. You might think that it's hateful. You might say it's anti-Semitic, but it's actually not an incitement of violence, especially if you understand the reason why Kanye West put out that image and the meaning behind it. What he's trying to say is that, well, even two groups of people that may hate each other or may not like each other or whatever, or may be opposed to each other, should be able to come together and be one. Because Kanye West has been saying the whole time is that I love everybody, including people that we have been taught to hate. And the reason why I say that word taught or programmed is because that's exactly what it is. And this is something I realized when I actually, again, really sat down and thought about what Kanye West was trying to say. Like, for example, George Floyd. The mainstream liberal media and the woke left, they have been programmed to honor and praise George Floyd. Okay, they honor a guy who did abhorrent things. Okay, he was overall a bad person, but they have painted him as some type of good person, an angel, simply because he was allegedly killed at the hands of a white police officer, even though, again, it's questionable whether or not he was actually killed or, you know, he had some other things going on, right, at the time. The totality of the circumstances probably contributed to his death. But they've been programmed and brainwashed to believe something, to honor him, despite the fact that he is a bad person, right? He was a net negative on the world. But if you say that to the left, they get a knee-jerk reaction to it. Oh, you're racist, right? That's what happened. Now, with that being said, when it comes to Kanye West's comments about Hitler, I think Hitler overall was a bad person. I think he was a net negative, right? There's no excuse for the fact that this man killed millions and millions and millions of people. He was overall bad, okay? He systemically participated in trying to exterminate a whole race of people. That is abhorrent. And there's nothing that Hitler did or contributed to the world, in my opinion, that makes him a good person that people should like. But my point is that when Kanye West is given a kind of a nuanced perspective on Hitler, right, and his feelings about Hitler, we have this knee-jerk reaction to it because we've been taught that, hey, there's nothing at all that, you know, anybody could possibly like about a person like that, okay? Again, it's just an interesting observation that I've been making throughout this whole thing, is that a lot of people just simply are overlooking what Kanye's overall point was, because, again, we've been programmed to have knee-jerk reactions to the statements that Kanye made without actually listening to what he was saying or his overall point. But hey, it's not like Kanye actually did a good job of articulating that. He didn't. He did it in the most disturbing, again, knee-jerk way possible. So it's kind of his fault, right? It's kind of his fault. But that image that he put out was an extension of his overall point on the Alex Jones show, which was that, you know, hey, I love everybody, right? And two groups of people, even if they are opposed to each other, even if they're supposed to hate each other, they can still come together because everybody's supposed to love one another, right? And again, it's not the first time we've seen imagery like this. For example, you see imagery like, for example, the Blood and Crips, okay? The red flag, the blue flag coming together and being like, hey, we're all the same. Let's come together. You see it all the time. And I'm pretty sure to the hardcore Blood or the hardcore Crip, that's an offensive image. You see the image of the white man and the black man coming together. The arm wrestling image. Everybody knows what I'm talking about here, right? Black people and white people have done terrible things to each other throughout history, okay? But that imagery is there to say, hey, you know what? Even though we've done those things, we can still come together for the common good. I'm pretty sure the hardcore white nationalists and the hardcore black nationalists probably is very offended by an image like that. I'm just saying. I think a lot of people kind of miss the nuance, but it's not even people's fault because Kanye just did a terrible job of actually explaining it, and he's putting this stuff out here in the most offensive way possible. And that's why you're getting a lot of knee-jerk reactions to it. And this is testing Elon Musk in his alleged commitment to free speech that I have praised so far. But at the same time, I have warned people that there are going to be limits to what Elon Musk is going to allow and what he's not going to allow. And Kanye West is testing that, okay? Elon Musk said that what Kanye put out there was an incitement of violence, right? It's an incitement of violence. I disagree with that. I don't think what Kanye put out there was an incitement of violence. It was offensive. It was disturbing, but it's not inciting any violence, right? He's just using that as an excuse and a virtue signal because he doesn't want to be seen as platforming or condoning Kanye West's anti-Semitism, right? That is what this is, okay? But what Elon Musk doesn't realize, which is what I've been making an argument when it comes to Republicans too, they don't realize that regardless of what you do, you're still the bad guy. They already think that you're a Nazi. So coming out here and doing this doesn't score you any points. For example, listen to Don Lemon's reaction to Elon Musk suspending Kanye West. Take a look.
Story now, and I hope that you will just take a moment and pay some attention to this because I'm going to give this news to you straight. Elon Musk suspending Kanye West from Twitter overnight. Why? The anti-Semitic rapper tweeted a swastika wrapped inside the Star of David. We are not going to show you the image because it is hateful, nor will we be showing you the deranged clip of West praising Hitler and saying that he loves Nazis on a show run by Alex Jones. Alex Jones is a conspiracist who is being ordered to pay millions for his lies about the Sandy Hook shooting. But there are two things that are noteworthy this morning. First, House Republicans finally removing a tweet from 2 months ago in which they praised West, they praised Musk and Donald Trump in the same tweet. Since then, West, of course, has spent weeks on a parade of racist and anti-Semitic rants and losing his billionaire status as a result. Musk spent $44 billion to take over a company, spending his time attacking and insulting people, tweeting out misinformation and images used by racists. And the second noteworthy thing this morning is that all three of these men, seen here, engaged in this anti-Semitic conversation. They have connections to Donald Trump. In fact, two of them, sitting right there, a Holocaust denier, white supremacist, and a Hitler-praising anti-Semite, had dinner with the current presidential candidate a week ago inside his home, a place that is currently under federal investigation. And as CNN reports, Trump at one point during the dinner said that he liked the white nationalists. A reminder for you, 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust by Hitler, by Nazis. And Kanye West has 19 million Instagram followers, 32 million Twitter followers, and more. That is more than there are Jews in the entire world, according to the Anti-Defamation League. Hardly a voice without a following across the country on conservative media and on Capitol Hill, and previously inside the White House. It is hate in the mainstream.
Yeah, so that's what's coming, right? What did Elon Musk gain from suspending Kanye from Twitter? Nothing. He's still a racist, okay? Again, according to Don Lemon, right? He didn't get credit. Don Lemon didn't say, hey, I get Elon Musk credit for not condoning this type of... No, Elon is still a racist. You guys understand, this is not... You can't win when you bend the knee to these people. Elon Musk would have been better off just either telling the truth and saying, look, I'm suspending you because you offended people. not make up some BS saying that it's incitement of violence. Is not. You might as well have said that, or you should have just stuck to your free speech principles that you say that you have and just, hey, it is what it is, right? Either way, you're a Nazi, right? Either way, you're racist. Now, again, how are Republicans going to respond to this? The same way they responded to the Trump dinner, because they're weak. They're weak. Take Ronald McDaniel, who is a part of the McTrio of McClowns in the Republican Party. McCarthy, McConnell, McDaniels. McDaniels is the chairman of the RNC, aka she's responsible for raising the most money, right? She's responsible for raising money for the Republican Party. This is what she came out and said preemptively. Nobody asked her to do this. She did it anyways. She said, Kanye's remarks are abhorrent. I completely condemn them and anti-Semitism in all of its forms. There's no place for Kanye, Fuentes, or their views inside the Republican Party. Okay, why did she say this? And what did you gain from it? Nothing. You didn't gain anything, because regardless of this, they're still going to say you're Nazi. They're going to still say you're in bed with them. They're still going to say you're a white supremacist. So what was the point? The point for her was to try to get ahead of the Democrats and the questions that is going to come from the mainstream liberal media. But again, she's missing the fact that it doesn't matter what she says. And in fact, this right here is an admission of guilt. You've admitted that, hey, Kanye and Fuentes are associated with the Republican Party, because if they weren't, then there's no need to come out here and to condemn them and to say that their views don't belong inside the Republican Party. Have the Democrats condemned Kanye and Nick Fuentes yet? No. Only thing the Democrats have said is that, well, Republicans need to condemn it, right? That's what they say, right? That's what they say. Well, why do they say that? Because there's no need to condemn something and to say those views don't belong inside your party when you already know that those views are not in your party, that those people are not associated with your party. See, Republicans don't understand that, bro. They don't understand this concept. When you come out here and you condemn this stuff, especially preemptively like this, it's an admission of guilt. You're already admitting that, yeah, they are people, when you should not admit that. They're not our people. I don't know anything about that because they're not a part of the Republican Party. Kanye and Nick Fuentes have nothing to do with the Republican Party. So when the mainstream liberal media asks these people questions about this, which is what will happen, what they should say is, I don't know anything about it. I don't watch Alex Jones. I have no clue what Kanye said. I have no clue at all. Well, what about the tweet that the House Judiciary put out? I don't know anything about that tweet. But you know a tweet I do know about? I know about the tweet that Kamala Harris, the vice president, put out, in which she supported a bail fund. She raised money for a bail fund that got criminals out of jail that then went on to commit acts of violence like rape and murder. Are you going to ask Kamala Harris about that? Because as far as I don't know anything about the Alex Jones Kanye thing. I didn't watch it, but I'm not sure if there's any violence that has resulted from that yet. I think it's more important to talk about the actual violence. So you need to ask Kamala Harris about her tweet with the Minnesota bail fund, right? That is what you should say. But that's not what they're going to do. They're not going to turn it around on the Democrats. They're going to come out here and they're going to grovel. We denounce Kanye. We denounce Hitler. We denounce Alex Jones. They're not associated with the Republican Party. And it's weak. It's weak. That is an admission. Yep. They are guys, right? You called us. We're sorry. When you should act like you don't even know them. I don't know anything about it. Talk to the Democrats about the actual violence that they have incited in this country. They're not, again, this is, it's frustrating. Because again, this right here is exactly what's going to happen. This is what you're going to see. All the Republicans are going to be doing this tap dance right here. Do the Democrats ever do this? No. They never come out here and preemptively denounce any violence that happens from the left. They don't do it. Well, why don't they do it? They don't do it because if they come out here and they do this, that is a mission of guilt. That is them saying, yep, those BLM people, those extremists, those people that are committing those riots, they are guys. Antifa, yep, they are guys. The radical Roe v. Wade protesters, yep, they are guys. They don't ever do this. They don't apologize. They don't condemn any of the far left extremism because that is an admission of guilt. Plausible deniability is a thing. And the Democrats have mastered that. And when you simply say, I don't know anything about it, and then you turn around and you say, hey, Trump though, but Trump, it avoids questions that, honestly, again, you don't gain anything from answering. Democrats have figured out the game. What does Joe Biden say every time the mainstream liberal media, when they rarely do, they rarely ask him this, but they do sometimes, about the Hunter Biden thing? Joe Biden says, I don't know anything about it. It's a conspiracy theory. That's it, right? That's what he says. And it works. That's why a lot of America, most of America, don't know anything about it. Because Democrats have denied, and ignored, despite the overwhelming evidence. They simply just don't ever acknowledge it, and they just point the finger in the other direction. Oh, it's Russian disinformation. Oh, but look at the Republicans. Oh, but look at Trump, January 6th, blah, blah. Bruh, it works. It works. Democrats are playing chess while Republicans are playing checkers. Republicans continue to play defense every time this happens instead of just going on offense and keeping focus on the agenda. When Republicans are asked about this Kanye thing, they should say, I don't know anything about it. I don't watch Alex Jones. Kanye West is not associated with the Republican Party, so I don't know what you're talking about. But what I do want to talk about is the commitment to America. I want to talk about the Republican agenda and the legislation we're trying to pass to fix the problems in this country. We got a border crisis. We got inflation. We got crime. We got a whole lot of things we need to worry about and we need to fix. I don't have time to talk about something that I don't know anything about, right? Some internet drama. So ask me questions about that. Or if you want to talk about the extremism going on in this country, we need to talk about the Democrat Party and the tweet that Kamala Harris put out. It's that simple. It's really that simple. But they're not going to do that because they're weak. They're too busy trying to beg for forgiveness from the Democrat Party and the mainstream liberal media. And again, it doesn't matter because regardless, you're still a Nazi, right? You still love Hitler anyways. So again, you don't gain anything from that. But you do gain something when you show that, hey, I'm not associated with that by just saying I don't know about it, and you focus on the agenda. Keep the conversation on the agenda. Keep the conversation on the extremism in the Democrat Party. Make them answer questions about it. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.